Crack. The door to the helicopter locks to the open position. The latching sound resonates in time with the throbbing of the rotors and the whine of the turbine engine. A hot wind envelops my whole body and never goes away. Neither does the earth and the grit, like an old wool blanket that you can't shake off. Crack! Again the door locks open. This time the sound in my ears is louder, sharper. It lingers, beating to the drums of the blades. The high-pitched screech is searching for the last corner of my brain that hasn't been reached yet. I can feel my heart shaking my lungs as I dig deep for breath. Crack! I smell blood. Crack! Beep. It's my alarm clock. I swallow to purge the copper taste that still lingers from my dream. I'm awake. The back of my neck is stuck to my pillowcase. Sweat has locked it in place like a warm palm on a frozen door handle in winter, only willing to release if applied with the right amount of pressure. I don't move. I don't breathe. I listen for the sound of rotor blades. I listen for the whine of churning engines. I listen. Beep. Only my alarm. I am awake. I feel the heat of my body dissipating, even as I swing mechanically for the alarm clock. It's autumn, and the timid cool of the season's change is discernible at this hour. I dread the moment my feet contact that cold bedroom floor, a relic of my childhood past. As a kid, morning was my time to dream, where I could linger in a state of hazy opportunity, fantasizing pulling off my first kickflip or the lunchtime snack trade, not having to exert any effort into completing the tasks ahead, but rather relishing in the certitude that, of course, everything will work out as designed. The moment my feet hit the floor, though, fantasy swiftly turns to reality, and begrudgingly I must go forth to showers, breakfasts, bus rides to school, teachers, lunch lines, etc., etc. It's funny to me that I'm still in school. It's fall, and I'm 3 weeks into my courses at community college. It's been 11 months and 24 days since I left the military. And now in my second semester, my days are once again filled with the same activities of my childhood, only without innocence. Everything is different. Everything has changed. I could feel my body trying to adapt to my conscious state, my anxiety snapping on and off like a broken lighter of a rusty grill, as I ask myself the same question I ask myself every morning now. What are my goals? What is my mission? The nerves of youth have evolved into a crippling need for a plan. I must know every step required by my day now before I take it. Every event must be analyzed beforehand, and every move taken must be deliberate. Nothing can be casually approached, because I know what complacency can do. I've seen it. Shower. That is the first task of the day, although just getting out of bed will be tough. The security of my bed is known to me. The floor invites confusion, invites chaos, and the cramped shower is not inviting. The hot steam filling my lungs and constricting the blood vessels in my chest reminds me of boot camp, breathing in CS gas in a darkened room with one light above, mucus flowing from my nose, down past my lips as they sound out my third general order, the beating of the water drops from the shower, rhythmic, dull, constant, are like the rotors of the helicopter. Hot air is swimming around my face. I am a product of that heat. I have become it. Crack! Every drop of water slamming to the white acrylic bottom of my bathtub is another helo door locking back, another round being fired downrange. Crack! Crack! The bullets fly and thump, thump. The rotors turn and the hot, sticky water beating off my skin drips downward. I smell blood. Crack! The box of cereal lands on the countertop. It's breakfast time. Breakfast is no longer an enjoyable break in the morning routine. It is a function. My body is a machine, and a machine must have fuel to run. I know this. I know this because I am a mechanic. I am a mechanic of the human body. And just like a machine, the human body, when it is broken, can be fixed. Just like the mechanic, the medic fixes it. I can reinflate the lung of a 19-year-old Marine after it has been pierced by a 7.62 millimeter round hurled from an AK-47. Like a mechanic's, my hands work off muscle memory, locating the entry site from the pool of blood collecting under the cover of his BDU. Listening for the muted gargle of air escaping his lungs, smelling the sweet copper stench of blood mixed with lingering sulfur, watching pinkish bubbles forming forth from the glistening black hole in his chest, about the size of the milk bubbles collecting around the edges of my cereal bowl. One of them pops. Crack! I drop my spoon. What's next? To school. Yes, I must plan my way to class. I have to catch the number 44 bus southbound from the bus stop 67 paces from my apartment. The bus leaves at 08:43. I must leave my apartment no later than 08:36 to allow for any unforeseen deviance in the schedule. Because complacency kills. Crack! The door of the bus snaps open, and I wait for a frail woman clutching a brown tote and a copy of today's newspaper to disembark. I wait, listening to the whine of the bus engine, smelling the hot fumes, reeking of petroleum. A hydraulic valve releases a hiss like it's whispering at me. Like the hiss of the stretcher as the medical team raises the bed up level with the helicopter door, ready to be ridden by a 19-year-old Marine. As ready as he was for his first ride in the car his parents bought him when he would turn 16, just 3 years ago. That is how ready I must be today. Ready to ride that bus, ready for anything to happen, ready for that moment just after the crack when the tires start shrieking and the glass starts breaking and the metal starts twisting and tearing, metal propelled haphazardly through the air, racing, twirling, searching, seeking out a lung for it to perforate. Always you must be ready for an IED, because complacency kills. I am awake. And now what? After the bus. I must know this before my feet hit the ground, even before my bedtime sanctuary is abandoned. As a child, getting ready for school was much more linear. I made sure I had my lunch, my books, my homework. I tried not to forget my sweatshirt in my locker. I tried to get picked for the good team during kickball at lunch. Now I must try not to get picked for anything at all. I try not to draw any more attention to myself than I already do. 5 years senior to my average classmate, with my arms branded in military tattoos, I stand out. In Iraq, it was never good to stand out. In Iraq, we wore combat boots to support our ankles, protect our feet, kick down doors. Now I choose footwear that makes the least amount of noise as they batter against the linoleum floor of the classroom. My legs churn up and down, pumping like the pistons of a turbine engine. My heels launching and landing with a rhythmic thud on the cold ground. I can hear the rotors. I smell the chemicals used by the morning janitor to wipe the floors clean. The smell of the chemicals used to wash the blood from the floor of the tent hospital. I can feel the hair on my arms rise up as I think of the tension in that casualty receiving bay. The confusion, chaos, noise, and movement. Like walking through the courtyard on campus. Everyone going somewhere. Everyone doing something. What is my something now? What is my mission? To get home. To leave the school that reeks of ammonia and blood. This campus that's teeming with people that I don't know, whose missions are a mystery to me. Yes, I must get home to my bed, my sanctuary, to sleep. I need more sleep. Crack! The textbook on the desk next to mine slammed shut. Class is over. It's time to go home. Home. Yes, it is time to go home. Time to go to my apartment 67 paces from the 44 bus stop. It's time to come home. In, out of the throbbing heat. In from the gritty air that smells of JP5 and rubber. Yes, it is time to come home. To come back to a life of friends and family, safety and comfort. Kickball and paper bag lunches. I come home to my apartment and my Marines are there waiting with me, laughing, drinking, all of them stuffed into my shabby living room, as if we were back at the barracks, oogling the new Boots Facebook pictures of his girlfriend back home. All of us there, even the ones who didn't come home. But no, that's not right. That is not home. That is just a dream, a hazy half memory of a time before. A flickering thought of what will never be. My home is my bed, my blankets. There I am safe. There I am home. I am alone. I am awake. Crack. My feet touch the bedroom floor. Thank you, guys.
That was Sam Abel.